Today we're going to talk about the interior of the Earth. To talk about the interior of the Earth, we're going to visualize it like a pizza slice. In this pizza slice, we have four main parts. The part near the tip of the pizza is the inner core. This is the innermost layer of our Earth. Outside the inner core, we have the outer core. And above the outer core, we have our thickest layer of Earth known as the mantle. And above the mantle, we have what we live on, which is the crust. And the crust is split up into the top part, which is a thin layer of rock called our tectonic plates. So we could also refer to this as our lithosphere. So the whole thing is the crust, but the lithosphere is what pushes and pulls on the land so that we can have landforms. Underneath that, we have something known as the asthenosphere. And the asthenosphere has a specific characteristic to it known as plasticity. Plasticity means that it acts almost like a liquid and a solid. And this is really important because as we go down the layers of the Earth, we get hotter and hotter. Our temperature goes up. So the temperature increases as you go from the crust to the inner core. In the asthenosphere, the part that's going to be closest to the solid part of the mantle will be heated. So we will have some really, really hot magma towards the solid part of our mantle. Now, there's a property that hot liquids or hot air rises, and this forms what we call convection currents. Convection currents work where the hot liquid or hot air rises, and then as it's exposed to cooler temperatures, it itself cools down and starts to sink. And so we get this kind of circulation where the liquid or air is moving around and around. This is what we have that causes a force onto the lithosphere. So our plates, our tectonic plates that are laid out on Earth, are going to be lying in the lithosphere, and this is what pushes and pulls on them. And it can interact with both types of our crust. So the crust that holds what we walk on and things like our mountain ranges and all of that, that is what's known as continental crust. Underneath that, where we have our oceans and we go as deep as our ocean floors, that is what's referred to as oceanic crust. So if we were thinking about all of these layers and everything that they contain, the crust would have all of our what we think of as stereotypical rocks and rock structures. We'd have our sediments, we would have our sedimentary rock, we would have our igneous rock, and we'd have our metamorphic rocks. Below that, we start to get into molten rock, which is also known as magma. Now, magma is going to be only exclusive to the asthenosphere because it has that plasticity. So it's half solid and half liquid characteristics. Below that, we said that this is a solid mantle. Now, even though it's solid, it still has some characteristics to it. For example, it contains a lot of different metals. And this goes not only for our mantle, but it also goes for our outer core and our inner core. So these metals can be things like iron and nickel. These will be our two most common, but there are a couple of other things in there as well, such as nonmetals, which would contain hydrogen and carbon. The outer core is going to be liquid again, like the top of the mantle. The outer core is going to be liquid because the inner core is so extremely hot that it has melted what is outside of it. So the inner core is actually a solid metal ball, and the outer core is liquid that flows around it. These are really important when it comes to the idea of Earth's magnetic field. Due to these properties, it creates the magnetic field around the Earth, which shields us from things like radiation in space. We as humans have not dug into the interior of the Earth by a good amount. We have only probably dug a little bit, equivalent to this yellow mark, into the crust. Now, the reason why we have not been able to dig ourselves all the way to the inner core is because we simply don't have the technology. All of our materials melt once it gets to a certain point. And because the inner core, outer core, and mantle are so hot, we just don't have anything to handle that temperature. So instead, we have a couple different ways that we can measure and discover things about the Earth's interior. All right, so the main way that we discover things in the Earth's interior is going to be through vibrations. So think about sound waves and how sound kind of works in general. As it travels, it runs into all the particles in the air, causes them to vibrate, and then run into the next particle. This is what sends sound farther and farther. Well, whenever we send vibrations through the interior of the Earth, this same thing happens where it starts to bounce off all the materials that we have in all the various layers. For example, let's say we send out a vibration in this part of the world. Let's say this is Italy. And in Italy, we send out a vibration and it has something like, we'll say, this kind of pathing to it. And maybe it ends down here on the other side of the world. Maybe this is Australia. So, what is happening here is that as the vibration travels, it's bumping into all of these different compounds and elements. All elements have a specific density, mass, volume to them. And so, as the vibrations travel, it's going to behave differently as it comes into contact with all those different elements. For example, carbon is going to have different characteristics than iron, and iron's going to have different characteristics than hydrogen. So through these vibrations, we can see exactly what it's traveling through, and we can start to put together the pieces of the puzzle to tell us what is exactly inside of the Earth. So if we were to summarize this into a sentence, we might say something along the lines of, by knowing the density, mass, and volume of elements, we can know what is in the Earth's interior. And of course, we can always take deeper dives into this, but in general, this is a good place to start to help us to understand exactly what's inside Earth's interior and how we measure it. And with that, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, like and subscribe for more, and I will see you next time. Happy sciencing, everyone. Bye!